The Philippines placed higher in a global index that measures bribery risks faced by businesses in the public sector. In a new study by U.S. Business Association Trace, the Philippines ranked 114th out of 184 countries, 5 spots higher than last year. While Manila kept its medium risk level, its overall score rose 2 notches to 54 this year. A higher score indicates a higher risk of business bribery. On another study, the Philippines fell 10 spots in an annual ranking of global talent competitiveness. INSEAD distinguished fellow Bruno Lanvin joins us now from Geneva, Switzerland. Mr. Lanvin, thank you so much for joining us. Basically, tell us what led the Philippines to fall 10 spots in this annual ranking of countries' ability to attract and keep a skilled workforce.
Yeah, good evening. The model we use is based on 3 core pillars. The ability of countries to attract talent, to retain talent, and to grow talent. And for the Philippines, the problem is clearly with the first one. It's a question of attracting talent. The country dropped for that pillar from 55 to 102. And this is where the main difficulties have been located in our analysis.
And Mr. Lanvin, it's sad though that it is the country's lowest ranking since the competitiveness list started a decade ago. Our highest was at 46 in 2020. It dropped to 70 in 2021. And now it has fallen even further to 80 this year. In which areas, in terms of competitiveness, can the Philippines improve on?
You're right. We should not read too much in year-to-year differences. And what is important is to have a longer-term view. And in that context, indeed, the performance of the Philippines has not improved significantly. The areas in which improvement is feasible include, for example, the possibility to improve the regulatory framework. This is an area in which the perception that businesses have, but also the employees and employers have, is clearly very important. Another one regards social mobility. This is an area in which the performance of the Philippines has diminished over the last few years. If talent consider that they have fewer opportunities to develop from a career point of view, they may be tempted to seek work outside the country, which is what is happening as well.
So where is the skilled workforce going at the moment, most of them? Are they moving to another local company, or are they now going overseas? Because we also have tens of millions of Filipinos who are working abroad, not only here in Asia, but in Europe and also in North America.
Definitely. The Philippines is in the Asia-Pacific region. The Asia-Pacific region is and will remain for a number of years the region that will draw more attention from the world, from investors, in terms of growth. In other words, even if China slows down, the Asia-Pacific region will remain ahead of Europe and possibly of North America in terms of growth. This means that Filipinos, especially younger generation, have more opportunities to work in other Asia-Pacific countries. But you're right, there is also the traditional attraction of North America, of Western Europe, which plays its role. COVID has accelerated the way in which workers can bring value, working online, working in different ways, working along gigs. And this is also playing an important role in determining how labor markets will behave.
But taking a look at the overall competitiveness ranking, Mr. Lanvin, which Asian nation had the highest rating in terms of talent competitiveness and keeping this talent within the nation?
In the Asia-Pacific region, the champion is Singapore, which ranks second in the world. Worldwide, we see that small countries like Switzerland, like Denmark, also rank very high. So there is a lesson there, which is that you don't need to be a superpower, economically speaking, to be a high performer in terms of talent. And this is a positive sign for economies like that of the Philippines. Agility, ability to train the workforce for the work of tomorrow is what Singapore has done very well. This is something that other countries in the region can emulate.
Indeed, Singapore attracts a lot of very good talent. But if I take a look at the competitiveness ranking, ahead of the Philippines in Southeast Asia, Mr. Lanvin, are the likes of Vietnam and Thailand. What are they doing better than the Philippines?
Yeah, Vietnam and Thailand are clearly two of the most dynamic Asian economies in terms of talent. And if we compare their pillar and sub-pillar performance to that of the Philippines, we discover that the enable pillar, that is the ability to provide the conditions for talent attraction and talent retention, are clearly working better. For instance, the regulatory framework is considered better in Thailand and Vietnam than it is in the Philippines. Also, Vietnam in particular, but also the Philippines, have adopted very attractive policies to draw flows of foreign investment. And when investment flows, talent flows as well. So this might be an important intermediate step for the Philippines to examine how investment attraction could be coupled with talent attraction.
Bruno Lanvin, thank you so much for joining us, Distinguished Fellow at the European Business School, INSEAD.